65% of jobs are at risk in 10 years. Here's what it means. If you're not prepared, your career might be severely impacted, and you could be left behind in the job market, struggling to make ends meet. The immediate consequence of this statistic is that millions of people will have to adapt to new technologies and acquire new skills to remain employable, and this matters now because the clock is ticking. With 10 years being a relatively short time frame to make significant changes. Can you imagine having to start over from scratch, wondering how you'll provide for yourself and your family? The news story quiz, "Will AI destroy your career?" has sparked a lot of interest and concern, as it provides a quiz that allows people to determine the likelihood of their job being automated, based on their answers to a series of questions. The quiz is designed to give people an idea of how susceptible their job is to automation, with some jobs being more at risk than others. For instance, jobs that involve repetitive tasks, such as data entry or manufacturing, are more likely to be automated, with 85% of these types of jobs being at risk, whereas jobs that require creativity and problem-solving skills, such as artists or engineers, are less likely to be automated, with only 15% of these types of jobs being at risk. What does this mean for the future of work, and how can you prepare yourself for the changes that are coming? The technical facts behind this story are fascinating, with 38% of jobs in the US being at high risk of being automated, and 25% of jobs in the UK being at high risk, according to a study by the McKinsey Global Institute. The study also found that 60% of jobs have at least 30% of their tasks being automatable, which means that even if a job is not fully automated, parts of it can still be done by machines. For example, a doctor's job may not be fully automated, but certain tasks such as diagnosing diseases can be done using AI, with 90% accuracy, which is higher than human doctors in some cases. Can you envision a future where doctors and AI work together to provide better healthcare? Additionally, the use of AI and automation is not limited to any particular industry, with 75% of companies using some form of automation, and 40% of companies using AI in their operations. What does this mean for the types of skills that will be in demand in the future? And how can you acquire those skills to remain competitive? The real impact of this story is that it highlights the need for people to constantly update their skills and be adaptable in the face of technological change, with 50% of workers needing to be reskilled by 2025, according to the World Economic Forum. Tomorrow morning, you might wake up to find that your job has been automated, and you'll need to have a plan in place to acquire new skills and find new employment. For instance, if you're a truck driver, you might need to consider a career change, as self-driving trucks are being tested and implemented, with 20% of all trucks being self-driving by 2030. On the other hand, if you're a software developer, you might be in high demand, as the need for skilled programmers and developers continues to grow, with 30% more jobs being created in this field every year. What would you do if you found yourself in a situation where your job was no longer needed? And how would you adapt to the changing job market? The single most surprising insight from this story is that even jobs that we think are safe from automation, such as healthcare and education, are not immune to the impact of AI and automation, with 25% of healthcare jobs and 20% of education jobs being at risk. As we move forward, it's essential to consider the potential consequences of automation on our careers and our lives, and to ask ourselves, what will happen to our sense of purpose and identity when our jobs are no longer needed? Can you imagine a future where people are no longer defined by their jobs but by their passions and interests? Follow for daily AI and tech news, and stay ahead of the curve as the world of work continues to evolve.